Divine-gpms.world is a worldwide cumulative gathering of consents for every child, woman, and man to ratify and enact into law worldwide the all-inclusive replacement system of money and law worldwide. As outlined on the consenting website of divine-gpms.world, it is imperative that all worldwide take a couple of minutes and consent to add your accord, children included.
Greetings. We are on March 4, 2026, and yeah, we have with us Rick Jewers. He's the High Priest of Melchizedek Order, and also he's the founder of GPMS, and also Lodi. We have Lodi Raimundo. She is a guardian of GPMS and is probably one of the most uh, she's working basically, I would say probably more than many of us. So I cannot see all of us, but when I see your work, I am telling you, I am so how can I say, it is so beautiful that basically you invite me to be present on the GPMS Philippine meetings, because when I see the consents that you are able to gather, I am really, really impressed. And you are able to gather consents in these divine times when basically GPMS is able to break, the ice and everything, and to start to show to the people that the consents matter, and we can do that. So this is extremely important, and it is for so long time, months and months, I would say more than probably 2 years or something like, all the time the consents in such number and all the time coming and coming. It is just amazing how you are resourceful there, that you are able to gather groups and tribes and consents and people, and it's just amazing. So thank you so much that you are with us on GPMS, because GPMS is the key for the heaven on earth. So I would start a little bit with Rick, because he's still with us today. So Rick, I would not say exactly about the ascension, because right now we can see a lot of things that happens on directly on the system. So basically the system implodes. Please, can you tell us about probably what may happen in the next months and what is happening right now with flooding and everything? Thank you.
Great. Thank you, sisters, for having me here today. I don't know how long I'll be able to stay, but I'd like to begin with the importance of our Philippines brothers and sisters and children. And Sister Lodi put out an important post a few months ago indicating the importance of the Philippines in alignment with God in this ascension. Now, what I wish to share to everyone, I do know the overall divine plan, but there are some particulars and variables in between that I do not know. But having said this, I did not know about the Philippines being provisioned in certain scripture and biblical text until Sister Lodi put that out. And what I wish to say is that it's accurate. Yes, the Philippines play a huge role, and that is totally obvious when you look at the numbers on the website. So the genuine ones that believe in God and know and can identify that this is the ascension, it is the full solution. Having said this, we put out the very serious, important divine order yesterday, and for the first time ever, it was distributed to all governments worldwide to tell them for their militaries to stand down. So this was a divine order, and to begin to put the focus towards gathering the consents for GPMS for their people. Now, what this does, it does more than one thing. It identifies any legitimate good leaders that are out there. And also, what it shows, it puts them on record that they were given the full solution worldwide. So, not only did we yesterday inform governments worldwide, we informed major faiths worldwide, we informed the media as well worldwide. So, this means it went into China, Russia, US, Canada, South America, Australia, everywhere, this divine order. Now, with this divine order, it doesn't necessarily mean they will obey or comply with it in the beginning. However, this has gone on the record worldwide that all of these governments and leaders were given the immediate solution. So if they do not comply with it, it is the divine judgment upon every individual. Um, so with worldwide flooding and disasters, these are warnings from Father for humanity to take heed, and also as part of a cleansing, and it does several other things. So the storms, the flooding, but also at the same time, ones need to realize by the darkness, they always attempt to plunge humanity into fear, because the greater fear that they can plunge humanity into, it has more effect, direct effect on your weather and your weather patterns. So when you look at fear, it's chaos, it's destructive. And this is what the darkness works with. So when they get people in deep fear without having any hope, if you will, then what this creates is a negative energetic vortex worldwide. And it creates storms and things as well. Now, of course, everything is overseen by Prime Creator and by God and by, let's say, the heavens as a whole. These things also have to occur, and they're occurring more rapidly because ones have already been seeded with the information what would occur in these times before the coming of Christ or the kingdom of heaven on earth, that the signs would be there so that they could not mistake them, and that they would turn towards God and towards getting more of the answers to know that this is actually occurring, that the earth has reached the point, humanity, where evil can no longer exist. And it's during this rapid transitioning that everything is being revealed to humanity. Who is the evil? What are the evil things? Um, so I'll just keep it simple there. What I will say, every military personnel worldwide, anyone even bringing catering and bringing coffee to military personnel, any of these military and anyone supporting military are requested to step away fully from it. Do not support what it is. And there may be another divine order later today coming out to this effect to all military worldwide as well, and to know, what they have been doing. Not only these military, let's say in the U.S., not only are they endangering um, the world and killing women and children. Not only are they doing that, they're also endangering themselves the longer this goes. So everyone in the U.S. is not safe at this time, especially all of their families and all of their children. So it's very serious what is occurring, and all of these leaders worldwide need to make the choice, and they've been given the full solution at what to do. See, all war stops when everyone has everything what GPMS can deliver. And again, right from this point, within 24 hours, GPMS could be distributing this money and great joy to all of humanity. And let's see what occurs with this, because it's still identifying the darkness from the light, but also the great judgment that is dealt with by Father. So you'll see these ones in whatever way in the militaries they'll be dealt with directly, just to keep it simple. Thank you.
Yeah, so Lodi, you should translate. Wait, there's somebody coming, but I probably will come back. Oh, he's here, Portia. Okay.
Yes, magandang gabi po sa lahat ng nanonood at sa mga kasama natin dito ngayon sa loob ng Zoom meeting. Mayroon pong ipinalabas na notice, ipinost po sa Telegram, sa Facebook. Ang nilalaman ng notice na iyon ay para sa mga gobyerno ng mga bansa, para sa mga military, sa mga police, at sa mga otoridad, sa kalahatan, worldwide po, ganun din sa media. Binabanggit sa notice or pahayag ang pagpapatigil, pagpapahinto ng mga digmaan na kasalukuyang nagaganap, at ganun din po ang mga kasamaan na ginagawa against humanity. So, binibigyan lamang po ng maikling panahon ang mga kinauukulan para ito ay itigil, at ang pairali na ay ang ikabubuti ng sangkatauhan. So, ang pahayag po ay nanggagaling sa ating prime source creator, at iyon ay magbubunsod sa pagpapatupad ng divine plan for humanity, na yun nga po ang nakasaad sa GPMS. At iyan po ay nakatakdang maganap sa divine timing na tinatawag, na pagkalipas po ng sapat na panahon na ibinigay sa mga kinauukulan para i-recognize at kilalanin ang kapangyarihan or ang paiirali na universal law sa pangkalahatan sa buong mundo ay nakatakda at hindi na maipagpapaliban pa, at iyan po ay tinitiyak na sa hinaharap ay mararanasan ng sangkatauhan ang kapayapaan, kasaganaan, kalayaan, at ang pag-ibig ng lumikha para sa lahat ang siyang maghahari sa buong sanlibutan, sa universe, hindi lamang po dito sa planetang Earth, hindi lamang dito sa mundo, kundi sa lahat po, sa kabuuan ng creation, sa kalawakan, at sa mga kalikasan na siya pong itinakda ng ating prime source creator. Salamat po.
Yeah, so Rick, because you are here, please, can you explain us a little bit what happened on the March 3rd, 2026? It is about the eclipse that happened and was seen by billions of people worldwide. So what it is, this magic event?
Just to, let's say, keep it simple, it was a blood moon, And this blood moon, if you will, throughout history, throughout antiquity, it always marks a very important time with what occurs on Earth. So with this one, it has more significance this time than any time in the past because also it's tied into uh, GPMS, the Divine Order put out yesterday. It's why it was put out on March 3rd. Um, but also, what I need to say as a result, we didn't release this publicly until right now, what I'm about to say. And there was extensive work that was done on CERN to shut it down, and also the Vatican. And and just to keep it simple for ones, there was attempt by the darkness to change timelines. However, divinity is always one step above that, and we are always in control. So there was by the darkness a planned attempt with CERN yesterday, March 3rd, to mess with timelines, but they could not with time travel. That was prevented. So from this point, everything is looking great. And as we said before, uh, not all on Earth are human souls. So there's a big portion of the population that does not go forward. But also with this, when you go deeper with the blood moon, it also uh, divinely schedules, if you will, the marks of the beast, but also the marks of those that cannot go forward, which will begin to develop rashes and lesions and outbreaks on their skin. But this is not to be confused that also ones that are ascending, that your physical vessels are evolving internally, and also at times some odd rashes will come on the good ones. So it's up to the individual. You know, if you get a rash, you know you're aligned with God, that it's just an ascension symptom. Um, but for others, it is a mark that they know their self, that they cannot go forward because of their actions and deeds and their judgment. And on the deepest level, at this time, what was written, all of the fallen ones, if you will, with that label, they have also been brought back into this time because they had to be judged. So these were ones that you're seeing now on the scenes, if you will, these aggressors and psychotic ones, if you will, psychopaths, and all of this, because they have to be judged before the people. So the people sees their actions to know that the actual evil did exist. And again, it's through their actions like killing innocent women and children. It identifies the evil and it identifies everything that's supporting it, including the military personnel. So it is. So the March 3rd, in the least, is a very prophetic timestamp on what's occurring. Also, I mentioned I had an interview, I think last Friday. Yeah, with Paul in Canada and Brother Barrett. In there, I mentioned there'd be a meteorite that would come down in the ocean somewhere or would be recorded. It would not cause any harm, but it's more like a warning sign. The information for I is not fully clear yet, but Brother Frank in British Columbia, I see put in my Telegram channel, he put a comment in there that there was a huge fireball, at least over Vancouver area. Uh, I think last night or yesterday. Now, this is significant, especially if it went into the water, but it's also another warning sign for humanity. So it's that is significant. Also in New York, there will be, as I prophesied, if you will, several months ago, but I had prophesied a 3.3 earthquake would be an indicator of the warning that has already occurred, and perhaps more than one at 3.3 if it's recorded correctly on Earth's instruments. It doesn't matter. That tremor has occurred and right around Manhattan. Having said this, it's looking possibly that the next one will be a 4.1 or 4.5 or 4.4 earthquake that will begin to, around New York, begin to rattle, if you will, at least some buildings. Having said this, the water levels in the ocean, this is still a part that water levels apparently will rise somewhat. So ones that are close to coastal areas, just keep your eyes open, and you'll have enough time to get to higher ground if any huge events occur. But also with ones, it's important to remember that there is the culling of the wheat from the chaff, the goats from the sheep. And again, the goats are the darkness, and the chaff is the darkness as well. And they cannot go forward where we're going in this new, loving, harmonious earth. So they will also begin, they have been, they'll begin to vanish more through natural events and also just vanish, uh, especially in cities. See, there's many of these non-souls minions that are in cities that people don't even, no one knows them, right? They live in apartments or what have you. But what occurs is they begin to just vanish, and no one knows they're gone unless you're in a small enough town that you've been watching things, and then you can see that in your town, or you can also feel that there's less and less people in this town. And this is due to this process of separating the wheat from the chaff, where the darkness cannot go forward, and a lot of these will just vanish from the timeline, to keep it simple. Thank you.
Ang tinutukoy po na nangyayari kaganapan sa panahon na ito, iyan naman po ay ipinakikita or pinagpauna sa mga narratives at sa pinaniniwalaan ng karamihan na nasa aklat ng pahayag or revelation or apocalypse. Ang mga signs, mga palatandaan sa kalangitan, sa kapaligiran, yan po ay nagaganap na. Lamang ay hindi aware or hindi napupuna ng karamihan dahil nakatuon po tayo sa ang magaganap ay pangkalahatan or malawakan, worldwide, buong mundo. Pero lahat po halos ng ipinagpaon ng magaganap na palatandaan sa mga huling araw ay nangyari na. At nangyayari pa rin ang karamihan. Kailangan lamang po maging aware, mapanuri, at maging matalas ang pakiramdam ng bawat isa para ito ay maunawaan natin na nasa kasalukuyang panahon po tayo ng kawakasan o yung sinasabi na judgment days. Ang ipanaliwanag po sa atin ni Brother Rick Jewers ay ang paghihiwalay ng mabuti at ng masama. So, maging sa physical po nating katawan ay mayroong mga palatandaan tayong makikita. Kung tayo ba ay nabibilang sa mga nakatakda na mapasama sa new heaven on earth. Alam naman po natin na binabanggit na ang aabutang buhay sa takdang panahon na yon ay aagawin, yun po yung scenario aagawin at itataas. So, hindi man po ganoon ang aktual na magaganap or nagaganap sa kasalukuyan, proseso po yan. So, yung ating physical na katawan ay nagbabago. Sa tulong ng kalikasan, lalong-lalo na po ang central sun, ang araw na nagbibigay ng enerhiya sa kalikasan, lalong higit po sa atin na mga tao. Diyan nanggagaling ang enerhiya na ating nasasagap netong physical nating katawan. So, sa mga mayroon ng kaunawaan sa nangyayaring ascension process, kasabay ng nagaganap na mga kaguluhan sa iba't ibang panig ng mundo, yan po yung mga palatandaan na ang new earth ay sumisibol at ang luma or ang 3D earth ay nagko-collapse. So, manatili lamang po tayo sa kapanatagan at sa pananampalataya, sa paniniwala na tayo ay mapapabilang sa mga karapat-dapat na mapunta at manahan sa bagong Jerusalem. Unang-una na nga pong hakbang ay ang pag-agree or pagsang-ayon sa divine plan na sinasaad sa GPMS. Sa simpleng pamamaraan po na yan, makatitiyak tayo na ang kaligtasan, ang pamumuhay na masagana, mapayapa, malaya, at puno ng pagmamahalan ay mararanasan natin sa malapit na panahon in divine timing. Kailangan lamang po na dumaan sa proseso ang lahat. Ang lahat. Hindi lamang po dito sa Pilipinas, kundi sa buong mundo, sa buong kalawakan, lahat ay nasasangkot sa pagbabago at sa proseso na ito na tinatawag na planetary ascension. Manatili lamang po ang lahat sa pagtitiwala at sa pagtawag, pananalangin, na tayo ay binabantayan at ginagabayan sa araw-araw na nararanasan natin ang mga challenges, hirap, pighati, kagutuman, or ano man yan. May katapusan po ang lahat ng kasamaan dito sa mundo. Dahil hindi po iyan ang inilaan sa atin ng dakilang lumikha. Ang divine plan na siya nating birthright ay nakatakda nating maranasan sa nalalapit at napakalapit na pong panahon. Konting tiis, konting tiyaga. Manatili sa pananalangin, manatili sa pananampalataya. Akakamtan po natin lahat ang ating inaasam. Salamat po.
Yes, Lodi. So Rick, I do not know if you may hear us, if you are still with us. Yes, so the internet is working. So, it's so disturbing. It's all the time, less people, less people. It's so disturbing. We do not want to start to cry in the meeting, but is there any estimation? I know that we are 8 billion and 2 billion have no soul. So the soulless people are still not, are still on Earth at this time. And from 6 billion that they have soul, what might be an estimation that may remain with us, or if it is possible, because it's very hard to appreciate, especially with what will happen in the next months, but if it is
Well,
an appreciation.
first, to make this simple, what humanity thinks of as death is not actually what occurs. So if you're losing family members that are souls, they are going forward into another reality. Us that are left here on earth is to bring in the heaven on earth for this timeline and this dimension and this paradigm. So it's to know that if you have a family member or a loved one that is a soul that goes, they are just going forward out of this reality. You need to understand that the ascension, if you will, is to take ones forward. Some are going forward through the death process into the new realities. Others are here, like all of us, to take all of the human souls and humanity forward into this dimension. And this is very important, what I'm about to say. And I'll use Jesus as the example. Jesus ascended into the other dimensions, heaven, but also Jesus come back. So you need to know what I'm saying, that life is not what humanity thinks it is. And, I could also use examples of ghosts as well that ones have seen. These are part of the higher dimensions. So again, what humanity thinks of death, that's not what happens. It's not how it works. So the mysteries of life and the mysteries of death were always kept here to keep this part of humanity intact. A lot to go through their experiences. But what occurred is that when the souls would come to Earth, the darkness was violating universal laws and also violating with that soul's experience. And it got so severe that then there has been divine intervention directly since 2012. And the divine plan is to ascend the souls into the fifth dimensional reality of divine GPMS so that humanity as a race continues forward. So the way that people thinks it works, it doesn't exactly work that way, but it's fine. And we keep to make it simple for everyone, be a good soul, be virtuous, and be connected to God, and know that that is the way forward. See your actions, your deeds, and trusting more in God and letting go of fear. What this does, it propels you forward energetically, and you come to then begin to release more information from your soul to know more of the higher divine truths and how things actually work. Um, so, in this great time, especially in, let's say, the last 2 or 3 days, it's very, very, very normal for many to have tears and feel that grief and that deep mourning, and also to feel that it's not right. Because what has occurred worldwide with many, they have seen the deaths of the children and the women. And not only just recently in Iran, where that school was intentionally hit to invoke worldwide anger because the darkness needs the anger to control the timelines. So, this is what they did to spread widespread grief, fear, anger, and all of these things, because these are lower density emotions to assist in keeping their fear controlled enslavement paradigm intact. So many of you, of us, I included, have felt that in my heart, that deep sense of this is not right. It's not acceptable what is occurring. Innocent children and women being annihilated. And also, Palestine was the beginning where perhaps 70,000 women and children were just bombed and killed there because of Israel and the U.S. supplying it. So you need to also realize that these are, again, I've said Trump is the Antichrist. He is the head one of controlling the demonic forces, if you will. But humanity needs to see this, and they are seeing it, and it's unmistakable. Any government that kills women and children, it's not God. It is demonic. It is evil. And again, this has to be. But with all of you, you'll feel it because you are an empath that is being prepared to exist in this new world we're creating. And you need to be able to feel so you can feel the higher vibration, which puts you in this new reality. It's a pure energetic vibration. So, if that makes any sense, thank you.
Yes, Lodis, please translate.
Kabilang po sa mga nararanasan at nakikita o nawi-witness natin ngayon ng mga nagaganap sa buong mundo ay ang walang pag-aatubiling pagpatay sa mga kababaihan, sa mga kabataan, na walang kinalaman sa mga kaguluhan. Iyan po ay dahilan sa ang nais ng dyablo ay manatili sa pagkatakot ang sangkatauhan. Dahil sa pagkatakot na yun, doon po nagkakaroon ng power ang darkness o ang dyablo sa pananatili ng mga tao sa pagkatakot. Imbis na ang umiral sa puso ng bawat isa ay pagmamahal, na yun po ay galing sa prime source creator o sa dakilang lumikha ng lahat. Dahil alam natin na ang may likha sa atin ay pure unconditional love. At ang kasamaan o ang darkness or ang hari ng kadiliman na kilala natin na dyablo, ayaw na ang sangkatauhan ay mabuhay at bumalik sa pamumuhay na pag-ibig lamang ang naghahari sa bawat isa. Kaya po lahat ng kaparaanan ay ginagawa nila, lalo na ngayong kapanahunan na ito, na end times na tinatawag. End times ng dyablo, ng kadiliman, ng gawa ng kasamaan. Yun po ang magtatapos ngayong panahon na to. Kaya hanggat mayroon pa silang oras at panahon, ginagawa nila ang lahat para ang tao, ang sangkatauhan ay manatili sa pagkatakot. Kaya po, umiiral ang ganiyang mga pangyayari. Walang habas na pagpatay sa mga walang muwang. Ayaw nila na ang sangkatauhan ay dumami. Kaya sino ang target nila? Ang mga kababaihan, ang mga kabataan. Ang mga may edad na, ganun din po. Lahat ng paraan, sa pagkain, sa hangin na ating nalalanghap, sa tubig na ating iniinom, lalo na sa mga gamot at iba pa. Maraming paraan silang ginagawa para ang sangkatauhan ay malipol, ma-extinct, maglaho dito sa mundo. Pero hindi po yun mangyayari. Hindi po yun pinapayagang mangyari. Lamang, kailangan na matutunan ng sangkatauhan kung papaanong bumalik. Hindi po lahat ng tao na ating nakikita sa ating paligid ay may soul. Marami po yung gawa din ng tao or yung mga clones, alam natin yan. So, ang tinutukoy po natin ngayon na makakaakyat or mamumuhay sa tinutukoy natin na new heaven on earth or sa fifth dimension earth, yun po yung mga chosen ones. Yun ang mga nilalang nilikha na galing sa Ama. May soul, may kaluluwa na nakakaramdam at nakakaranas ng pagmamahal sa kapwa. Yun po tayo eh. Ang mga tao na sukdulan ng kasamaan sa kanilang puso, sila po yung mga minions of darkness. Kampo ng kasamaan. At sila po yung maiiwan sa 3D earth. Nandito po tayo sa panahon ng rapture. Naghihiwalay, nagsishift ang mundo. Hindi siya physical, kundi awareness, consciousness, energy, frequency, vibration. Stepping stone natin ang GPMS Divine Plan. Ang pagsang-ayon natin sa GPMS na idinidescribe sa atin kung papaanong mamumuhay ang mga tao sa new heaven on earth. Yun po ang pinakasimpleng paraan na inilatag, inihayag, ipinakikita sa atin ngayon para hindi na kailangan na dumaan sa mahabang proseso ng awakening ang bawat isa. Mas matagal po kasi yun. Kaya kailangan lamang na sumang-ayon lang tayo dahil ang simpleng tinatanong lang naman, gusto niyo ba na mamuhay ng masagana, malaya, mapayapa at puno ng pagmamahalan? Oo o hindi. Yun lang po ang simpleng tanong. Kung papaano yun mangyayari, madali lang po ang procedure, ang proseso, madali na lang mangyayari at iiral. Ang nagpapatagal, yung pag-iisip ng tao, yung paghadlang ng dyablo sa mga tao, gumagamit ng kasangkapan para huwag iyan papaniwalaan ng mga tao pagdudahan at kung ano-ano na pumapasok sa ating kaisipan na hindi yan totoo. Scam lang yan. It's too good to be true. Imposibleng mangyari yan. Matagal pa yan. Mamamatay muna ang lahat bago mangyari yan. Yung mga klase ng pag-iisip at pagdududa na ipinapasok sa kaisipan ng bawat isa, yun po ang nagpapatagal. Kaya sa maraming nagtatanong, kailan ba, dapat merong sample. Dapat sabihin nyo, bigyan muna yung mga nauna para mas marami ang maniwala. Mabilis yan matatapos. It doesn't work that way. Hindi po ganoon. Marunong pa ba tayo sa gumawa ng divine plan para siya yung pasusunurin natin sa gusto natin na mapadali ito? Hindi po ganun. Sinusubukan ng bawat isa sa atin. Kailangan nating patunayan na tayo ay karapat-dapat sa ating inaasam. Yung mga prayers, mga panalangin natin, ibibigay yun kung nakikita na deserving tayo. At dapat nararamdaman natin sa puso natin na we deserve. Nakarapat-dapat nga tayo doon. Ipakita natin. Huwag nating daanin sa pagkainip. May proseso po ang lahat. Be part of the solution. Huwag tayong magpa-delay. Nandito na yung solusyon, the absolute solution. Nandito na. Huwag nating pagtagalin. Tayo po ang gagawa na yun ay mapabilis. ASAP sa lalong madaling panahon. Nakatakda o sinasabi at na-validate po na ang Pilipinas ay may malaking gampanin sa pagbabago na ito ng buong mundo. Patunayan natin. Gawin po natin. Pagtulong-tulungan natin, please. Salamat po.
So, Rick, thank you so much that you are here with us. And please, can you tell us more about the family courts and everything that is happening there? Because you expose a lot, and I know what is happening. And I do not know, some judges from there, probably they are people with no soul. Because it's not possible to earn money and to have pleasure to spend the money when you earn money to divide mother from child and to put under big pharma pills and everything and get out money from the parents and basically put the people to pay thousands and thousands of dollars, especially what I know that is happening in Canada, in the United States. The people cannot divorce, the people cannot, it's huge. It's absolutely impossible to live on this way. And basically, day after day, we are looking how our children are, how can I say, live apart from us. So what really happens with the family courts and where we are on this process? And I know that it's not only about that particular country, it is about all the world, but you resume a lot of work for that particular country, but it's basically for every country is the same. So there are standards. NIA case is not NIA case. So it's from NIA case, we have all the cases the same, basically.
Yes, sister, I'll get to that. First, what Father has given me is that when Jesus was here on earth a long time ago, a few thousand years ago, he was showing people the way and the love and the peace and the righteousness. And with this, one time, Jesus, with his communion with Father, is said, like, Father, why is it not working? Why do they still, why is there still prostitutes? Why is there still drunkards and bad ones, if you will? And Father's reply was to that. He said, because humans love evil. Now, it's very important that I take this a step deeper because needs to be said about unconditional love. Where ones in the beginning are taught to have unconditional love, this means to love everything and everyone, including the darkness. But this is only the beginning of them to know what is actually occurring. When you love anyone or anything, it means you are accepting it into your reality. You are condoning it. So when you love darkness, you're actually saying it's all right for them to do what they do, that they're constantly forgiven for creating harm. This is where the illusion comes in, and you don't, and you cannot do that. If you have a love towards these, what you do is you actually energize them. And I'll use Trump as an example. All the people that loved him, but they energized the Antichrist. So this creates harm for the individuals. So you need to use your discernment at what you are loving. And you're not to love unconditionally, because if you do, then you love things that are unlawful, unrighteousness, and then you are also to love the murderers. But you cannot do that. This is part of the illusion, because if you love them, then you accept their behavior, which is not moral. It's not right. If you take, for an example, a mother that has had a psychopathic child that turned into a serial killer, if she kept loving him, it means she would not report him and he would keep killing people because she's accepting and allowing his behavior. But this is morally wrong. It's not right to do this. So this distinction needs to be made with this. What are you loving? Also on the cross with Jesus, what is written, if you will, when he had said, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they have done. Jesus was actually speaking about his apostles, his disciples, that in the last days betrayed him and walked away from him instead of standing with him. Jesus was not speaking about the darkness and the evil to forgive them. He was speaking about his apostles, his fellow brothers and sisters that had turned away from him. He loved them the same as he loved Judas, but he also knew that Judas would betray him for the beast system. And the beast system is for the 30 shillings of silver. But not only that, Judas was robbing from the treasury even before that final day when the darkness was able to buy Judas's soul with money to betray Jesus. But this is an example of the entire beast system, of what it did with controlling humanity at buying them. This is why GPMS is the divine plan that activates the value of the individual so no one can ever be bought into crime and into harming children and trafficking. So there cannot be any corruption when the value unlimited is from the individual. because then the outside and the darkness cannot control anyone and entice them nor intimidate them to create harm. So when you get to your uh, family courts, if you will, this is just an arm of the beast system, but it's a attribute that is cleverly designed to keep control of the children because it wishes to create the children to be dialects, it wants to keep the children traumatized, but also getting the children to experience the separation. So the children creates that generation after generation. That's why the darkness always wants to separate the children from the mother so they can control the generations to come. Divine GPMS cuts that. The family court no longer has any jurisdiction and it has no say over any children. So this is part of the divine establishing in the new world where all children are free, all happy, all everyone is happy, all families together. So and this was the lawful statement that has been put out just public notice 65 and 66 because it's in the public record. And also, it was emailed worldwide to family courts, to law firms, to judges, to judicial systems as well, showing them there is no legal authority, no lawful basis for them to infringe upon the true sovereignty of the individuals. So this is also why we put out the definition of true sovereignty, because that was distorted as well. So with the family courts, they're all imploding. They have no jurisdiction. And what you begin to see, I received a message just yesterday from a dear sister in the U.S. She said, Rick, she showed me a huge group of, I think, 72,000 that is growing with parents against CPS, which is the Child Protection Service in the U.S., which was involved in at least 400,000 children a year vanishing, but the numbers are much greater than that. They were in the U.S. alone, it was over 1 million, perhaps 2 million children vanishing every year because of the capitalistic system, the beast system, that had also created a business out of it, and where the darkness was able to buy souls because of the big money. See, the darkness can print money to unlimitedly as well. So they always could offer traffickers $1 million to go and get one child. These are the things that people did not see what was occurring. But now they are beginning to see these things. So what the darkness was doing, that's why they always lived in abundance, because they create money out of thin air for theirself. And this is the part, so they were at the top of the pyramid creating money for to have their exquisite and luxurious lifestyles, but not telling all of the people that they were actually creating money out of thin air for themselves and causing all the suffering for all the people. So this was the biggest lie of the capitalistic system. And this is what GPMS does the opposite. It educates the people at the same time of showing them this lie that money actually can be instantly created unlimitedly. And this is what we're doing. So when you have the people that were down here at the bottom of the pyramid all together, they outnumber these few at the top, and it has to collapse. And this is also what is occurring. It's the actual people that have the power, not governments or anyone else. If that explained what you said, I was kind of rambling. Thank you.
Yes, Lodi.
Iyon pong ipinapaliwanag ay tungkol sa capitalism. Ngayon po na nahayag ang Epstein's files, kitang-kita na natin na maging ang mga kababaihan at ang mga kabataan na sa napakamurang edad ay kinakalakal. Paano nagiging kalakal? Sa prostitusyon, child trafficking. Maraming bagay na napakasasamang i-describe o i-imaginein man lang ang ginagawa nila sa mga kababaihan at sa mga kabataan. Mga karumal-dumal na krimen na ginagawa ng mga iilan na namumuno sa beast system na ito. Kapag sinabi po na kalakal ang turing sa tao, sa bata, sa kababaihan, may idea tayo pag sinabing prostitusyon. Madaling imaginein, alam na alam natin yan. Pero pag sinabi na kabataan, sanggol, minor de edad, mga 1 to 7 years old, child trafficking, anong ginagawa nila doon? Hina-harvest ng organs? Hindi lang po ganun kasimple. Mas karumal-dumal ang nagagawa nila sa mga bata, paslit. Kung nai-imagine mo po ang ginagawa sa kababaihan as prostitute, mas masaw lang nagagawa nila sa mga kabataan. At yan po yung na-expose, nalalantad sa kasalukuyan para mamulat ang sangkatauhan kung gaano kasama ang ginagawa ng beast system na ito. Na hindi lamang pala tayo tinuturing na alipin or slaves. Kalakal pala ang tingin sa mga paslit na mga bata at mga kababaihan. At sa sangkatauhan na din sa kalahatan. Natuturingan po na tayo ay may hanap buhay, may trabaho, pero tingnan niyo po ang ginagawa, ang nangyayari, kung anong kinakahantungan. Ng sektor ng mga empleyado, ang mga OFWs, o kahit na po hindi nakalalabas ng bansa, mas masahol nga po. Parehas lang, kahit nasa abroad po at nandito sa Pilipinas, parehas lang din ang dinaranas. Alam natin kung saan napupunta ang mga buwis na ating pinaghihirapan. Pero anong nagagawa? May hustisya po ba tayong napapala? Wala. Hindi lang po sa Pilipinas nangyayari yan. Buong mundo yan. Buong mundo. Kaya hindi po napakasimple ng problema eh. Hindi pera lang eh. Kaya sa mga nagmamadali, i-release na kasi ang pondo para maahon na sa hirap matapos ng paghihirap ng mga tao. Hindi po ganun kasimple. Hindi po kasi pera lang ang problema. Sana po sa mga nakakarinig ng usapan na ito ngayon at sa mga makakarinig, sana po i-share nyo ng i-share, maging eye-opener. Maunawaan kahit papano, makapagtanim kami ng binhi ng kaalaman ng consciousness. Na maintindihan kahit kapraso, oo nga, GPMS lang ang solusyon. Kasi wala tayong aasahang iba. Wala kang mapipili kahit isa man lang sa mga gobyerno sa buong mundo na makakapagpabago, makaka-resolve ng mga problema na to. Wala po, wala. Lahat sila ay puppets lang. Tao-tauhan lang. Nino? Ng beast system. Sino yun? Ang darkness, ang diablo. Dahil ibinigay ang kapamahalaan ng buong sanlibutan sa diablo. Imagine niyo po yun. Buong mundo. Hawak ng diablo. Kaya may mga ilan na nandito ngayon para sa misyon. Akayin i-guide ang mga chosen ones. I-co-create a new heaven on earth. Kung nararamdaman niyo po na may calling kayo para mapabilang sa co-creators, stand up. Magmadali po tayo. Magmadali na tayo. Hindi na to pwedeng magtagal. Kailangan na po talagang matapos. Mag-collapse ang beast system para umiral ang replacement system na maghahango sa ating lahat sa kung ano man itong impyernong pinagdadaanan natin ngayon. Hindi ko na po mapigil talaga. Yung mga naririnig nyo na mga lumalabas sa bibig ko, that's my truth. In all authenticity. Sana po, sa mga nakakapakinig, mag-isip-isip at umaksyon na. Umaksyon na po. Magtulong-tulong na tayo. Salamat po.
Yeah, so Lodi, you tell us on Sunday meeting that someone from the team, from the Philippine team, because of so long time that she was waiting for GPMS to start, and GPMS was not able to start yet because of the people, because of the ascension, and the people needs to make the higher choices. So she started to tell others that basically GPMS is not in the right way, and giving the consents away, and do not trust on GPMS. So we have also Riquifas here, and I collected also from Rick what he said, that universal laws, it is the divine law, and one violation to attempt to coerce. So one violation of this law, it is to attempt to coerce someone in giving away their consents from GPMS, because GPMS, it is the implementation of divine laws. So if Rick may hear us, if it is still good, the internet there, just to explain us how this affects someone directly on their private life and family and everything when they come against divine law during the divine time. It's just because someone lost the confidence and does not believe and creating discussion and harm around how this affect the individual that is doing that. And for example, in the situation that the time pass, and somebody is not able to keep up the high frequency all the time and is coming down because of everything that is happening today in the world and has probably a bad day or something like, but when it is on that bad situation, to realize do not affect others, because when affect others, basically she is affecting herself. How can we explain that better, and what it is the connection directly with the planet, with the ascension and divine law?
Well, simply with this, anytime you see anyone opposing the divine plan of GPMS, it tells you that they're able to be controlled by the darkness, or they are the darkness themselves. It's simple. So it is no other explanation when they do this. So their intent is, especially, see, you need to understand again that GPMS is the full liberation for humanity. It's all spelled out on the website, the majority vote. So there is anyone that's opposing it, they're doing it intentionally because they're controlled by the darkness, or they're the darkness themselves. So with this, you know, anyone can just say, if they're hearing someone speaking about it, just identify who they are. But you're to do no harm, but righteously you can identify them that they're either controlled by the darkness, or they're dark themselves. But don't spend much time on that. See, these ones come in to try to create distraction. Keep your focus on gathering all of the consents. So they come in to try to distract and slow it down. That is their intent, because they are part of the beast system and are able to be controlled by that. So just to keep it very simple. So it identifies one. GPMS is common sense. Everyone should be living in harmony worldwide. So anything that goes against that, you know that their intent is not genuine. So don't waste time with it. As we said, on earth, not all are human souls, and they're not going forward. But these ones that cannot go forward because they're evil, the biggest threat to them ever known is the divine plan that liberates all of the souls. So all they can do is attempt to spread lies and fight against it, but it's all in vain. They never get anywhere with it, the darkness, because the human souls are the majority. So just to keep it simple, yeah, you'll see this. We had ones and that they'll present themselves too, see, because it's part of their self judgment, right? When they go and oppose GPMS, it is their judgment that's dealt with them later. So it's important for ones to know this, but they have to be revealed and identified to the people as well, that these are dark, these are ones that are controlled by the darkness, or the actual darkness themselves. So it's just part of the process. We've seen this, countless times. And also, we've seen it, see, with the darkness, they have what you call a superficial consciousness, that they'll act like the light. These are the false light ones that are out there to distract ones and lead ones astray as well. But as you're seeing with us, the dark ones are always revealed and exposed. They can only go so far when their ill intent is exposed and they begin to be traitors, making false accusations, spear or smear campaigns. These are all uh, tactics of the darkness to attack one's credibility. But you see that at any moment that one attacks one, it means they are controlled by the darkness or they're the darkness themselves. For I've been constantly betrayed and attacked by dark ones, but it's great for because it identifies who they are. But when also they put comments or something on posts, the rest of the genuine ones also see and they identify them as darkness. So they don't ever go very far ahead and they can't. So they're revealed and exposed, if that makes sense. Thank you.
Yes, Lodi. To translate.
Yes. Para po sa paglilinaw ng pangyayari na nabanggit, mayroon po kasing isang tao na dati guardian na po siya, representative na siya. Nagdaan siya sa mga pagsubok ng buhay na nagkaroon ng may karamdaman sa kanyang pamilya na isanla po ang kanilang bahay at lupa. Pero hindi rin po nakasurvive yung may sakit na kasama nila or relative nila. Patuloy po siya sa pagkokolekta ng mga pangalan for GPMS. So, sa pangyayari po na namatay ang kaniyang anak at ngayon ay naputulan ng kuryente at malapit na din pong maremata yung isinanlang bahay at lupa, naiinip siya sa pagre-release ng funds ng GPMS. So, ito pong isang dati rin siyang guardian, representative ng GPMS, na nakausap niya sa hindi malaman or kung ang nauna niyang pagiging guardian ay kung ano ang diskontento na naranasan niya na bakit ngayon ay sa kanya pa nanggagaling ang mga pangit at paninira tungkol sa GPMS, na impluwensyahan niya po itong ina na nakaranas ng challenges sa buhay niya. So, imbes na ipasok at ipagpatuloy po na magkolekta ng mga pangalan para ipasok sa GPMS, na-impluwensyahan siya na ihinto, wag nang ibigay sa akin yung mga listahan na nag-gather na niya, nasa kanya na po. Napigilan siya na ipagpatuloy. Dahil ang iniisip, mayroon pong nakapagsabi sa akin na iparating daw po sa akin at kay Rick Jewers na ipauna na ang pag-release ng funds sa kanila dahil sila naman ay matagal nang nakapagpa-register, matagal na silang members. Kasi nga, ang kanilang bahay at lupa, nakasanla, naputulan na sila ng kuryente, etc. etc. Yung mga nangyari na yun sa buhay niya, sabihin na natin na isinisisi sa GPMS. Ganon po yung senaryo na nasa isip. Ganon yung nakarating sa akin na feedback galing doon sa mga tao na nandoon, na nakakakilala sa kanila at nakakausap nila dahil gustong iparating sa akin at kay Rick Jewers na i-release na ang funds Dahil sila ay nangangailangan, nagdaan na yung mga panahon na gipit sila at lalo pang nagigipit sa ngayon. Mauna na sila. Mayroon pa pong isang pangyayari na hinihingan ng pang-notarial fee ng mga dokumento yung nagpa-register na. Dahil pag hindi daw nagbigay ng fee para sa ipapanotaryong dokumento for GPMS, ay tatanggalin ang kanilang mga pangalan. So, yun pong sinabihan na yun na kailangan nilang magbayad ng notarial fee, naglakas loob siya na kumontak, tumawag sa akin. So, naipaliwanag ko po na walang ganoon. Wala tayong kailangang bayaran, walang dinedelete na pangalan sa website unless yung mismong may pangalan mag-voluntary again siya, lumantad siya na binabawi niya yung kanyang consent. Pero kung dahil po sa merong hinihinging perang kapalit para sa kung anuman na dokumento o anumang rason na hinihingan siya ng pera, wala pong ganon. So yan po yung mga ilan sa senaryo na nararanasan ng mga dati nang nagpa-register. So paglilinaw po, wala pong ganoon. At kung sino man ang mga tao na nasasangkot sa pandaraya, sa kapwa, at nagsasalita ng masama at kontra tungkol sa GPMS Divine Plan. Ayan na po, sinabi na po ang warning para sa inyo. Hindi po biro. Hindi po biro ang pagbibitaw ninyo ng mga salita na hindi karapat-dapat tungkol sa GPMS Divine Plan. At meron naman pong ibang mga tao na talagang nakatakda na sila ay maging hadlang. Sila yung mga nakatakdang maging challenges para sa chosen ones na co-creators ng New Heaven on Earth through GPMS. Kaya, para sa kalaman po ng lahat, maging alerto tayo, maging mapanuri sa mga taong nakakausap natin, lalong-lalo na po sa mga naninira, nagsasalita ng hindi maganda tungkol sa GPMS Divine Plan. At sa halip, alamin nyo po, buksan ninyo ang website. Kung hindi kaya, walang internet access, nandito lang po ako. Mag-message kayo sa Messenger. Tawagan nyo po ako anytime. Pwede nyo po akong makausap. Kung gusto ninyong maliwanagan ang mga bagay na gumugulo sa inyong isipan tungkol sa GPMS, nandito lang po ako. Nandiyan po si Sister Beatrice, si Brother Rick. Kahit sino po sa mga guardians na inyong kakilala. Kung di kayo masiyahan sa mga paliwanag ko, pwede po kayo sa kanila tumawag, mag-chat, mag-message. Alamin nyo po para makontento kayo. Malaman nyo yung totoo. Sa puso nyo po yan mararamdaman. Hindi sa sinasabi ng iba na nakakarating sa inyong tenga na gumugulo sa inyong mga isipan. Maging mapanuri po tayo. Be vigilant and use discernment. Listen to your heart. Sana po maunawaan ng lahat ang mga mensahe, ang madaming topics na na-discuss natin ngayong gabi. Kung hindi man po, nandito ako, tawagan niyo po ako, i-message niyo po ako. Anytime po. Handa akong sumagot sa inyong queries at mga comments at mga katanungan. Thank you po. Yes, Sister Beatrice.
Yeah, so we have something on the website that it is new, and I'll present right now. Then because Rick is here still with us, he may let us know again why it was added to the website. because this is Divine-gpms Philippine meeting, and many people from the Philippines are waiting this meeting. I would like just to show again, even that it was presented on the Sunday meeting, because we have the translation for the Philippine people. So we have the divine-gpms.world, we have the decree, and after that, we have jurisdiction and non-consent addendum. It is a clarification update. It's not necessary to read because it is already on the website, but just if Yurik would like to please to tell us why this jurisdiction and non-consent addendum it is added to the website. What exactly express that? How this protect us? And it is exactly under the decree. I do not know, Rick, if you are here. Yeah, you are here.
Yeah, I'm here. I'll look at that on the website. But first, this is very important, Sister Lodi, what I'm about to say, to keep
like
it simple.
Just please
for
see
one.
the camera. The camera is like that. Yes, thank you.
All right, great. Here's one thing about the consent. So if one consents with GPMS, they are consenting with the perfect harmonious world. But if they don't consent with GPMS, it means they're consenting with this current worldwide beast system of harm. So they have a choice, and this is where it becomes common sense and logical that if you don't consent with the new world, it means you still want this evil world. So it becomes a no-brainer choice to choose and consent with the new world. Your consent is your accord. It's your agreement. It's what you want for your world, which is this new equal world. Nobody wants this world that's here now other than the darkness itself. Anyone would have to be insane to want a world that's killing women and children and starving everyone, creating criminals. So it's absolutely preposterous. See, the current system is designed, and what I'll say for the Philippines, the current system is designed to create, let's say, prostitutes, to create children that need to be given away, because this is what the system does with the money. It also creates, when one has no money and they need money to survive, it creates a criminal thief as well, because then they'll begin to steal to try to survive. So this is what this current system is. So if any consents with that, it's immoral. Look what you're doing. It's sick. It's insane. So the obvious moral logical choice is to consent with GPMS, so we get this world the way that it should be. Everyone living in abundance, joy, love, harmony, worldwide peace. So only a fool would not consent with GPMS. And that is the simple thing. Or one that is paid by the darkness, that has been bought by the darkness, to not consent with GPMS. Now, also, I need to say the darkness uses psychological warfare. For example, when you had one that told one in the Philippines that GPMS is not happening, look at what the intent is. So they say this about GPMS, and then the first thing, what it does, is it makes one feel bad. It robs them of their hope and for the new world. So that is ill intent and to identify, but they use psychological warfare, the darkness, to do this, to make ones feel hopeless. So then they're blinded by the solution. So the darkness works with psychological warfare. Not only that, the darkness also pays ones as protesters in certain countries. And what I'll do quickly is in 1953 in Iran, the US CIA and the United Kingdom M16 paid a group of protesters to begin to protest against the government of Iran. Iran was a democracy, was good, everything was working great there. But this was the darkness sent these in so they could get the oil and put Iran into a turmoil and into out of democracy. So this is how the darkness works. So everyone needs to be informed, hold true to your heart, as you said, and keep the focus on this divine plan. And know that there are dark ones and controlled ones that are trying to dissuade ones from it, because the dark ones always work on the lower energy. So if they're able to make someone feel sad, hopeless, in fear, then they can control these ones, because then they're blinded from the solution and their full freedom. So this is how the darkness works. With the addendum we put on there on the website, I've done so much, so I need to. Yeah, well, this is in connection with your lawful jurisdiction where your children cannot be taken as well. So this is more towards, it's a lawful clarification that tells the individual and the parents under higher law, and it rejects any claims of authority by governments as well. So it's put in there. But this is also should be added with public notice 65 and 66 if it is not already there. See, everyone that has consented with GPMS, they have activated their true sovereign decree, which in law cannot be violated. The beast system will attempt to violate it and ignore it. But as we go forward, it comes to the point where the beast system no longer can do it. So again, the more consents that we have, it takes this beast system control right out. It doesn't exist anymore. So we need everyone standing together and saying no if they come to try to take your children. It's that simple. No. And then you give them this, and also public notice 65 and 66 is an absolute statement that no family court, no judge, no lawyer, no government worldwide can go against, because it's absolute law, and it strips the beast system of all authority, because it shows how they have no law, that it's all part of the artificial laws to control humanity and to cause harm, to inflict harm by taking the children, as we discussed, and separating the mom from the children to create great fear and anger in the mom, because it's that energy that the beast system operates off of. So the more children they can keep separated from their families, especially the mom, the more fear and density that they cause, which lowers the consciousness from seeing the simple solutions. So it's all how the darkness works. If that explains it, thank you.
Yes, Lodi.
Iyon. Kabilang po sa mga makikita natin sa loob ng website ay ang solusyon or kung papaano natin maisasangga. Mayroon po kasing mga pangyayari na ang mga anak ay inaalis sa kustodiya ng kanilang mga magulang. At iyon po ay nakita at napatunayan na pagsalungat ng gobyerno sa sariling mga batas na kanilang ginagawa. So sila po mismo yung lumalabag at hindi nagpapatupad ng patas sa batas na sila rin naman yung may gawa. So, ang GPMS po with the universal law, makikita at mapapatunayan na maipagtatanggol ng GPMS ang karapatan ng magulang at ng kanilang mga anak sa usapin ng kustodiya. At hindi lamang po doon, marami pang batas na nasasaklawan ang universal law ng GPMS. So, absolute solution po ang ating makukuha kapag ang GPMS ang ating ginawang batayan ng mga paglabag ng gobyerno sa kanilang sariling mga batas na ginawa. So, ang protection po ng GPMS sa sangkatauhan ay nakalatag, nakahayag. Magagamit po natin yan. Nakahanda ang solusyon para sa lahat ng challenges na sumasaklaw sa karapatan ng bawat isa, lalong-lalo na po ng bawat pamilya tungkol sa usapin ng pag-iingat at pangangalaga sa kanilang mga anak bilang proteksyon sa mismong gobyerno na gumagawa ng hindi maganda o kabuktutan sa mga mamamayan na kanilang nasasakupan. Hindi po sa Austria lamang applicable, kundi sa lahat ng mga bansa sa buong mundo. Example lamang po ang nangyayari ngayon sa pamilya ni sister niya sa Austria, sa gobyerno ng Austria. Pero ang aplikasyon po ng universal law ng GPMS ay pangkalahatan. So, kung sino man po ang nakakaranas ng ganiyang mga suliranin, mga sitwasyon na bumabangga or ang inyo pong nakakalaban ay ang gobyerno na, maaari po kayong sumangguni, makipag-ugnayan at magpatulong sa mga guardians ng GPMS na makapagpapaliwanag sa inyo kung ano ang inyong karapatan na po pwedeng maipagtanggol ng universal law na pinaiiral ng GPMS. Thank you po. Yes, sister.
Yeah, so I still have something on my list to present the true definition of sovereignty, that it's still not yet on the website. It is on Rick Juar's Facebook. And with this occasion, I'll present again the Facebook of Rick. And so I know that there in Manila, it's 11 p.m. I do not want to keep meeting so long, but this is really important. So The true definition of sovereignty. True sovereignty is not limited, jurisdiction-bound concept many states define on paper. It is the inherent and unconditional independence of the individual. Sovereignty begins with the unalienable right of self-determination, but extends far deeper. It includes the unlimited freedom to choose one path, to define one's value, to create or withhold consent, and to determine the meaning and source of one's own worth. A sovereign individual is not merely a participant in the system. They are the origin point of authority, value, and decision. When a government claims that sovereignty exists, while simultaneously restricting the individual ability to exercise it, this is not sovereignty but a contradiction in terms. True sovereignty is abundance, freedom, and self-authorship. Any model that attempts to confine, qualify, or condition it becomes an artificial construct rather than a lawful reality. Divine-gpms.world, love, light, and gratitude to all. So the message, it's written by Rick George. Yeah, so Lodi, if you may translate or tell them what it is the content, then the people may see on facebook.com/rickjewers. So they can find also the Facebook. This is important. And this will come also on video later.
Sister, we now have we have a version of it on the website. So if you look, we put it on last night. So it's just below, it's just above the pink tabs of the implementation and the abandonment. So you'll see it just above those places, the big tabs of pictures of children jumping and airplanes and things. It's just above there, just to let everyone know it's on the website too.
Yeah, so please, may you let me know exactly where it is? Just
Scroll down to the boy with the hands, with the boy
colored.
picture with the hands.
Colored.
No, a little further. There. All right, there. It starts there, just below the picture. See it? The true definition
yes,
of
yes.
Yeah.
So right now,
And this definition reads a little bit different than the one that that you read. However, it's still essentially the same. Thank you.
Yes, so Lodi, please, if you may translate.
Yes. Ang binanggit po ngayon ay ang soberenya. Kung ano yung totoong definition ng soberenya. Kasi sinasabi po ng mga gobyerno na may sovereignty tayo bilang mga tao. Pero ang tunay na kahulugan po ng soberenya ay hindi natin nararanasan dahil sa control. Kontrolado nila ang ating kalayaan, ang ating pamumuhay. Hindi tunay na soberenya ang ating nararanasan sa buhay na ito. So with GPMS po, iyan ang ating mararanasan sa pagkakaisa natin na i-co-create ang new heaven on earth. Ang tunay na kahulugan ng soberenya, ang malaya, masagana, mapayapang pamumuhay, na tayo po ang nasusunod. Ang kagustuhan natin, ang iiral, walang control, walang government. Kundi ang bawat isa, paiiralin ang do no harm. Wala kang gagawing makakasama sa sarili mo, sa kapwa mo, sa kalikasan, sa kalawakan, at sa lahat ng nilikha ng prime source creator. That's do no harm. Yun po ang tunay na soberenya. Dahil pag umiral po ang pure unconditional love sa bawat isa, Yun na po yung kabuuan. Kung ano ang tunay na pamumuhay na malaya. Walang kumokontrol. Masagana, mapayapa. That's true sovereignty. Isi-share ko din po sa, ita-translate ko din, isi-share ko din, ipopost ko din po doon sa Facebook ng ating Philippines GPMS para makita nyo po yung translated in Tagalog na version ng True Meaning of Sovereignty. Thank you po.
So thank you so much. If there are questions, we are here to answer. But it's all the time Eva with us. I do not know if Eva may have something to say. You may ask. It is also late there. It's 11 p.m. I know.
Sister Eva, any question po or comment?
Okay, so there are no questions.
Sister Lodi,
Yes.
if I may, perhaps I'm guided to say this. So with our Filipino brothers and sisters, there's many expats. They had to go, to other countries to make money for their families. What we wish to say simply, once we have GPMS back in, all families can be together in the Philippines or in other countries. Let's say if, as an example, let's say if a Philippine brother or sister had to go to Russia, to work at a job. With this, once with GPMS, if it's too many people in the Philippines or what have you, then Russia is open to relocate the whole family if they wish to. So there's all types of options that are open because it's the full freedom to live anywhere on earth as well that individuals wish to live. So it's important for them to know that it brings all the families together that wish to be together as well anywhere in the world. There was one other aspect with this. I just can't think of it right now, but that keeps it simple, perhaps, to share so that the people know this as well. Thank you.
Ayan po. Pag-iral ng implementation po ng GPMS para sa ating mga OFWs, maaari na po kayong makauwi sa kanya-kanya ninyong pamilya or kung hindi nyo naman po maiiwanan ng inyong mga trabaho kasi makapagpapatuloy pa rin po sa pagtatrabaho ang lahat ng gustong magtrabaho. Hindi dahil sa pera, kundi dahil gusto nilang i-share ang kanilang skills, ang kanilang talent. So, alam natin na ang mga Pilipino po ay sobrang talented. Ang ating mga engineers, doctors, nurses, kaya po kayo nakakarating sa kung saan saang bansa dahil po sa inyong expertise. So, yan pong mga talento at skills na yan, maaari nyo pa rin po yung ibahagi sa mga lugar na inyong kinaroroonan sa ngayon. With your family, pwede nyo po silang ibiyahe, isama sa kung saang bansa kayo naroroon ngayon. Or kung ang option nyo naman po ay makabalik, makapanirahan ulit dito sa Pilipinas, pwede po. Wala na tayong magiging restrictions. Wala nang kailangan ng visa, kailangan ng kung ano-anong mga dokumento. We are free kung saan natin gustong manirahan. Pag-iral ng GPMS, wala na po mga boundaries. Wala nang restrictions. Kung saan bang parte ng mundo natin gustong manirahan o pumunta, pumasyal, magagawa na po natin yon ng buong laya. Just do no harm. Yun lamang po ang ating mas kailangang sundin na universal law. Magiging malaya na po tayo magdesisyon para sa ating sarili at sa ating pamilya. Thank you po.
Thank you, sister. Also, it's important to remind them that the world is in depopulation mode for the first time since the year 13,050 with the Black Plague. So the world is in depopulation mode, which means that there are and will be many vacant houses all over the world. And but I need to bring this up for the simple reason the world is not going to be as crowded as well. So there'll be many places that ones can go to, and this was a direct result of the attempted mass genocide upon humanity, which began, I believe, in 2020 or 21. So it's important for ones to know that many women have become infertile. So there is less and less children being born, but also at the same time, as everyone I believe knows, there's many deaths, even with healthy people just suddenly dying. So the world is in depopulation mode. So it's important for everyone not to have a hatred or a vengeance towards the darkness, but just don't accept them. See, if they're able to get you angry against the darkness, then you are creating negative energy. So don't be tricked into this. Be neutral and know that the darkness is bad, but don't love them, don't support them, and don't accept them. So it's important to stay in your righteous love, to keep that simple, if that makes sense. Thank you.
Yun pong habilin, alam natin na ang darkness ang gumagawa ng lahat ng hindi magagandang experience natin dito. So, ang payo po is huwag tayong magpadala sa damdamin na paghihiganti or pagkatakot, or ipanatag natin yung kalooban natin na okay, sige, nararanasan yan for the lesson. Meron kasing lesson na kailangan nating maintindihan, maunawaan. At kadalasan po, nung lesson na yon ay gustong maibalik sa ating kamalayan, sa ating consciousness, kung gaano tayo ka-powerful. Kung ano yung ating kakayahan na sa kabila ng mga pagsubok. We are strong. We have the strength kasi kakampi natin ang prime source creator. We are the divine beings. We are all children of God. Na kung ano yung power na mayroon siya, meron tayo nun. Nagka-amnesia lang po tayo kaya hindi natin alam paano gawin. Pero yung mga pagsubok na ating pinagdaraanan, yung ating dinaranas, kung mapapansin nyo po, kapag nalampasan nyo yung mga pagsubok na yun, you are a better person. You are stronger. Kasi alam mo na, kaya mo pala. At walang pagsubok na ibinibigay sa tao na hindi niya kayang lampasan. Yun po yung tandaan natin. Pagdaanan lang natin lahat yan. But at the end of it all, be triumphant. Rejoice. Huwag tayong magpalugmok sa mga pagsubok na ating diranas. Huwag tayong manisi. Sa halip, tanggapin natin, magpasalamat tayo na kundi natin naranasan ng mga ganong pagsubok, paghadlang, hirap ng buhay, hindi natin matutuklasan na kaya pala natin, na we are strong, na may kakampi pala tayo. Ganon po sana yung maging outlook ng lahat para huwag magpadala sa mga pagdududa or paghamak or pagiging mababang. Kasi ang kadalasan nating naririnig, tao lang eh, mahina, makasalanan. No, no. It's about time na baguhin natin po yung konsepto na yon. We are powerful. We are omnipotent. We are invincible. We are valuable. We are complete. We are whole. Yan po sana yung matanim sa puso at isip ng bawat isa. We are divine beings of light. Hindi tayo tau-tauhan or alipin ng darkness. We are not slaves. Proseso lamang po lahat ng ating nararanasan. We are all light beings having human experience. Yun lang po yun. Kaya pagdaanan nyo lang yan, i-enjoy nyo lang yan kasi patapos na yan at hindi na po babalik. Hindi nyo na mararanasan ulit. Pag-iral ng GPMS Divine Plan, pagpunta, pag nandun na tayo sa state ng fifth dimension, new heaven on earth. And malapit na po yun. Salamat po.
Thank you so much, sister, for this meeting because you translate, and this is a very, very important meeting because the population of Philippines that listen your translation, and we had a very special meeting today because Rick is here. So thank you so much to everyone that participated. So Rick, thank you so much to be here with us today, and we'll see you soon on April. But personally, I would like for GPMS to start to become viral. Then there we will start more meetings per month, basically when will be necessary. So I'm not saying exactly on April that we will see on April. We can see each other anytime. So we never know when this happens. So let it happen. This is important. Thank you so much.
So, love, light, and gratitude, all our brothers and sisters and children in the Philippines, and stay strong and stay with it. We get it done. Of course, we did not come here to fail, or we would not be here today. So, stay with it. And again, much love to all of you. You're doing an amazing job, and don't stop. We'll get this done. Woo! Have
Yes,
an
very
amazing
soon.
day.
Thank you, thank you. Namaste.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.